can't decide how I want to start this video off, so we're just gonna start it. So Heavy Devi himself, coming back out with a new album tomorrow. I may or may not have been listening to this album since like a week ago because I'm naughty. And what am I gonna wait to listen to the new Dev album? Hell no. So we have Lightwork, and I decided to shift away from my usual track by track thing because honestly at this point I'm getting kind of sick of it. Just feels like most of the time I'm just trying to write stuff down despite it being like the exact same stuff I've been writing down with other songs, because it happened in this album. You know, I keep writing, I love the chorus, love the riffs, and it just gets a little redundant, so we're just going to talk about it as a whole. So, and see how that goes. So he's put out a couple singles, and to be honest, I don't even know what they were because I stopped listening to them after Moon People. I just wanted to save it for the album. And, well, I wasn't super impressed with Moon People when I heard it. And I didn't really watch any of the videos leading up to it. Honestly, I thought I was just going to write this one off as, you know, just being an okay Dev album. And, well, the first time I heard it, I thought that exact thing. It was okay. Not nearly his best. Probably in the 30 to number 20 range. And then the second time I heard it, I listened to it on headphones, which is the first time in a long time that I listened to an album on headphones. And immediately bumped it up to like the top 10. Because, man, this album is exactly what I need. I think I was mainly put off because, you know, I do like the more heavy Dev. I do like the heavy in my Devi, you feel me? And this kind of songwriting never really fully grasped me. Like, especially on Empath, there was a decent handful of songs that are kind of like this, with like Spirits Collide and Evermore and songs like that. But I feel like it's so much better on this album. Just feel like it's such a collection of his greatest strengths. Like, we have the choirs from Epicloud coming in here. We have the strings from like Deconstruction, even mostly in Nightwork, which we'll get to later. And like the powerful choruses of Transcendence. I just feel like this captures better what Empath was going for, I think. Where it's kind of a look back on his whole career. I think this one does it so much better. We have like the super clean stuff with Vacation and a lot of Call of the Void. We have the super heavy stuff with Dimensions and like the first 3 tracks on Nightwork, which again we'll get to later because I want to keep them separate for now. So much building going on in this whole album with like Moon People. The build of the song is great. Like the heavier riff, like it's kind of like a chugging riff. It comes and fades. It makes like a nice good roller coaster. Equinox, it has that tremolo riff with all those effects that Dev loves. Celestial Signs, another really great one, especially with the way it ends with the piano and the strings. Like, it's hard trying to decide my favorite song on this album, and that's when you know you have a good one. Because I love Dimensions, because like I said, it is a break from... It doesn't really fit, I think, on the album. Or maybe that doesn't fit, but it's different. It's heavy, unlike all the other songs, but I really like it. Like the whistle thing makes it sound like there's machinery or something going around. The only song that I really don't actually like is Heartbreaker. A lot of his songs kind of have where it goes all over the place, but I think this one just goes a little too hard on that concept. I just feel like it barely ever has like a constant movement. It's always changing, and so I don't care for that song all that much. But yeah, between Equinox, Call of the Void, Dimensions, and Celestial Signs, all 4 of these are qualifiers for my favorite song on the album. Really can't figure it out. Other tracks like Heavy Burden, it has that like weird, I don't like how the verse sounds, but I guess it kind of fits. Like the whole style it's going for. And Children of God is like the epic on the album, but really the last 2 minutes are just ambient noise, which he loves to do. But like all great albums, it ends the same way it starts. You know, we have the ambience of the ocean and seagulls and the lighthouse blaring, and then it ends the same way. Just like you show up to this island and leave. Unlike the lighthouse, where you just die at the end. So yeah, with the exception of Z2, but I don't really count that one because it was early enough. This is easily my favorite album since I've been a fan of his. It's such a drastic change from the first time I heard it to the second time. Big change. But yeah, let's talk about Nightwork for a second. So I don't know if this counts as its own separate album, because he always has these secondary albums coming along with the normal ones. You know, going back to like Epic Cloud with Epic Clouder, then there was Holding Patterns with Transcendence, The Casualties of Cooler, Test of Manhood, all that crap. But I don't know if this is on the same level because all of those have like demo in the title, so they're just, you know, demos or whatever. But this one doesn't say that, so I don't know if I should be counting this one as its own separate album, or if they are just like demos that just didn't make it on the normal one, or if it was actually crafted to be its own separate album. I don't know, but anyway, this is where the brutal dev shit that I love is on, because the first 3 tracks, Starchasm Part 2, Stampy's Blaster, and Factions, are pretty wild. I mean, Stampy's Blaster is only like 40 seconds, and it just blasts. And Factions is one of the craziest songs I've heard from him. It blasts like crazy, it riffs like crazy, and it's super heavy. I feel like this is way better than all the other heavier stuff on Empath, like Hear Me and There Be Monsters. I think this one just does it so much better. But then there is this whole middle chunk that I just don't care for. You know, Yogi, Precious Sardine, Hope Is in the World, Children of Dog, and Sober. All these songs are, I guess, just kind of whatever. You know, I don't care for them that much. But then the last 2 songs, Boogus, is so fun. It's just like an old jig. Because if this is a demo, then it's a damn good demo. And I almost like some of these songs better than the ones on Lightwork. Because the outro, Carry Me Home, one of my favorites of his. Just such great vocal melodies in both these songs. And it ends with him being like, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Which I think he did on another album very recently, where it ended with like a message. I think it was on Puzzle, actually. But anyway, half of Nightwork I really love, but then the other half I really don't care for, so it's very uneven. But the stuff I really do like, I really do like. And Lightwork, it's just the music equivalent of a hug. It's just one great big ol' hug from this man, and it's so nice. It's so nice. And then he squeezes a little harder with Dimensions, but it's a fun kind of squeeze. You know, you're not in pain, but it's a different sensation, definitely. So that's about it, man. Sticking this in my dev ranking, because obviously I'm not going to do all 30 albums again. I'm sticking this bitch right at number 8. Top 10 Devin album of all time. Absolutely love this. This is probably the last album of the year I'm going to be hearing, so great cap off to the year. And yeah. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, I kind of understand why, because it is that softer side of Dev. So if you really love that strapping side, you get a little bit of it. You get a little bit of it in the first 3 tracks of Nightwork. So you probably like that album better than Lightwork. But yeah, that's about it. And stay tuned for The Who coming up very soon.